clear in your mind that you were going to have to look for a portal quarterback. But as you go through the process of thinking about what it looks like to add somebody, what kind of traits would you be looking for, and how close would those traits be to the person who just left?
Well, that's a tough question. You get the best available. I mean, is it a is it a pocket guy? Is it a dual threat guy? Is it a more of a runner? You look at the overall body of work, and it's just so different now where we're actively like watching quarterbacks and have been watching quarterbacks to try to make those decisions. We got a whole personnel department that's been doing it, and it's every position, and those guys have been doing that for months. And so then it's just about looking and seeing what's available, and my job's to evaluate it. My main job is to coach TJ and the rest of the offense to get us ready to go play in a bowl game. That's number one on my list, And so then, after the game's over, we'll come back and that portal will open up on the 2nd, and it's going to get kind of crazy for a couple weeks, There's a lot of video, So you watch video, you look at the overall body of work. The way I do it, the way I look at it is you get the best player you can, and I think we can mold our coaching around what the best player is and what those skill sets are. Mobility is important. I think TJ brings an element of mobility that is refreshing and helpful, but you got to have that ability to be able to sit in the pocket and make the throws as well.
Did you have a chance to talk to Dylan? And it's a tough question, but why did things not work?
I'm not going to speak on any of that. I really loved working with Dylan. He's a great kid, and gave a lot to this place for 2 years. And just look at what's going on across the landscape of college football. How many quarterbacks have popped in the portal that were starting at their school? I mean, it's the new norm. And so I can't speak for him, and I just I enjoyed working with him, and I wish him the best. But at the end of the day, my job's not done here. I was hired. Coach Roll hired me to come in and get us as good as we can on offense, and I don't feel like we're at that point right now. So we got to continue to improve, whether that's replacing coaches, replacing players, actively recruiting, but then the overall developmental process of what we're doing out there, for the last week and a half, and what's going to be for the next week and a half is to take this opportunity to go play a damn good Utah team, in a really good setting. And use that to our advantage to continue our developing and evaluating what we got and what we need.
What did you think of Dylan's development while you were here? I mean, what did you see? How would you assess it?
I mean, he's a great player, man. I think there's times where I thought we were really headed in the right direction. There's times where we weren't. I mean, that falls on me, not just from his perspective, from the whole offense's perspective. Just think we're close, man. You look at that USC game, I believe if that wouldn't have happened, things were different, and I think we win that game, and I think that gives us momentum, and who knows how the end of the season ends, and who knows where we're at right now, but all I do is think about where we're at right now and what we got to do to get better.
Working with one of the new faces on staff, Jeep Wade. Why do you think he's a good fit for you and what you want to do offensively?
Just familiarity with. I didn't know him, and so I looked at his body of work at Georgia Tech, which was impressive, But now Coach Rule has a history with him. Sat has a history with him, and so he was comfortable coming in. I've competed against him back, when he was at Marshall, and. I just think he's a really good teacher, and his body of work from Georgia Tech was impressive to me, and then having Coach Rule and Sat sign off on him as a teacher, as an individual, as a human, as far as the fit, I trust what those guys say as far as what the fit's going to be, and I think it's been, we've had a great week and a half, and I think we're going to work together very good.
You watched a lot of Georgia Tech offensive film, and what stood out from the offensive line?
Well, I don't really care what their schemes are and all that. I mean, we have schemes, and we'll get together and do what coaches do every year in January, kind of look at, where we're at and what our offense is and what he can bring to the table to make it better, and so, looking forward to that. We're not at that point right now. I mean, his head's spinning. I know what he's like. I know what he's going through right now. Because I went through it, 13 months ago or whatever it was, and so I sympathize with that, and I try to help him and try not to overload him and try not to, have too many conversations when he's just trying to learn what we're doing right now and learn what the players are and learn who they are, and so it's hard to jump in there. He's like, well, he got here on Sunday. I met with him Sunday night, and he goes, so we're practicing tomorrow? I go, yeah, just come in and just do your thing, man. So you can't overload him with too many schematic questions and where we think we should go with this. We got to get a game plan together and go coach hard and go try to put our guys in position to be successful against a really good Utah team. But at the end of the day, what I experienced and what he's experienced right now, this month will be good for him for 2026. Okay, and so we'll get into those conversations in January, February, and see where it goes.
You've seen from the running backs, knowing that there's an opportunity ahead for them.
They're excited, man. They're practicing hard. We're a lot of our older guys. Like Dane, Isaiah, Henry, Justin, Pritch, Luke, Heinrich. Those guys aren't taking just a whole lot of reps right now. Those guys are getting their legs underneath them and getting healthy and all that stuff. Those running backs are getting a lot of reps, and they're excited about their opportunity. Just Emmett was such a machine, and just so proud of him and his accomplishments, and getting all these postseason awards has been awesome for him, and he deserves every one of them, because he was just such a machine and could take so many reps and do so many dang things. And now it's those young guys' turn. I mean, they've been practicing hard for a year, and they've been waiting their opportunity for a year. And so I'm fired up and ready to see those guys go, and see what the game looks like.
You've had TJ around you for about a year. What have you learned the most about him, or what has stuck out through his progress as you think back to when he joined you with Pinstripe Bowl practices about a year ago?
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't remember what it was like back there at Pinstripe Bowl, but just his calmness and his eagerness to take it over. Okay, so it just goes back to his mentality when we went to UCLA. I'll go back before that. His mindset when he got thrusted into that USC game, which was huge, and he didn't flinch. And so now, I just think there's going to be a confidence level to, go with his calmness and it's killing him that he's not practicing right now because he wants the reps. Okay, so he just loves the game, and he's really fired up about this opportunity to go into this game knowing that a lot's riding on him being the starting quarterback.
Is there a moving forward with TJ a template that you found in your career that works best for somebody who has his level of experience and youth to provide the best situation, whether that's an older quarterback in the room like Jalen has provided this year, or just as much competition as you can provide?
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. It's an interesting question based on the conversations I've been having for 2 days now. And we haven't made those decisions. And I can argue, it'd be good to bring young kids in. I could argue it'd be good to bring an older kid in. I just think you need to look at it because that position is, competition is very important in that position. What typically happens if you bring too much competition in, when the thing gets resolved, they leave. That's happened in that room when they had to sit. You lose the battle, you leave, and you go transfer, and you got to sit a year. And so, yeah. But because of that rule, I think you'll be able to get guys to come in for a competition perspective when they know they can leave if they don't win the job. There's that aspect of it too. So I just think you evaluate them, you try to find the best fit. Like I said, January 2nd is going to be crazy. When we can't talk to kids now, we can't bring kids in, we can't. You can probably gauge some interest, so to speak, but I don't know if we're going to have that answer until we can be able to sit face to face and be able to bring guys in to see what the absolute best fit is. Best players need to come in. I mean, we need to continue to get better players in here, and it obviously starts at that position.
I know you played a role last year in talking to Emmett coming out of the portal. Did you try to do the same with Dylan?
Dylan's was around for a couple of days, and then he was not here. So I've had conversations with Dylan, but at the end of the day, I ain't speaking for him. I don't want to speak to him. I really enjoyed coaching him and wish him the best.
Do you like the big picture? Do you like this new portal window? Do you make some changes to it? If you had a magic wand, what would you do?
It really doesn't matter what I think. It didn't matter when it didn't matter what I thought when I was head coach. That's those way higher up people make those decisions and all that. I got really irritated with the spring portal. I mean, what team on any level practices half the year and then changes your team? It just doesn't happen anywhere at any level. So I'm going to appreciate that in May. You'd have conversations of how hard should we practice in the spring to make decisions on what the depth charts look like, and then people figure out where they're at on the depth chart and they leave. So you're coaching them and you're investing resources in them. So I like the fact that it's just going to be set. And once this window's over in January and kids come back to school and they enroll, that you're going to have those guys for the next season. That just kind of makes sense to me.
So, not to straight up quote the water boy, but it is the last game of the year. Can we expect things to maybe just open up a little offensively?
I mean, I get criticized when I don't run it. I get criticized when I do run it. I get criticized when we throw it. I get criticized when we don't throw it. I mean, we're going to do what is in the best interest of the football team to try to go put ourselves in position to win.
Hey, Utah had some issues stopping the run late in the season, but when you have a month between a game and they probably got a chance to heal up, do you anticipate seeing the same defense that played Kansas State in Las Vegas, or do you imagine it's going to be the defense they had at the beginning of the year in terms of health and feeling good?
If anybody's got any insight on it, I'd love to hear it. I don't think they're going to offer up any insight to where they're currently at with their team. Got a lot of respect for Coach Whittingham. Coached against him in a bowl game back in 2017. He's always had a good product. He's always put a good team out there. His bowl record at one point was pretty spectacular. This is his last game. What do you think they're going to do? Probably going to play pretty good. So we will expect their best. And they're a good team, man. I mean, 10-2 with 2 losses to, obviously Texas Tech and BYU. Other than those 2 games and those last 2 games, they just beat the tar out of everybody, and so they're a good football team, man, and got a lot of good players. They got a great program, good culture. Hall of Fame football coach that's retiring and playing his last game, so I would expect their best.
As a football coach that's managed bowl trips before, what are the challenges of managing a trip to Vegas with a bunch of college-age players?
Well, New York wasn't exactly easy to navigate. Although I think Coach Rule in the Pinstripe Bowl managed it and navigated it way better than when I coached in that game back in 2011 or whatever it was. I mean, so this is an established bowl venue, right? And so I would assume that they have a pretty good plan for, keeping guys busy and, doing the things that they're supposed to be doing and not the things that they're not supposed to be doing. Hopefully they keep me busy too. I've got lost in Vegas a few times.
Come back to the O-line. How would you just assess how Donovan Morella was able to coach that unit this season?
I appreciate Donnie. We worked well together, and change is hard in this profession. I'm glad I didn't have to make those decisions, but improvement. We found something in the run game with Emmett, right? There's, that we could really just kind of lean on, and so I think that's a credit to him and how he got those guys up front to really do a good job in the run game. You got to do both. I mean, you got, our pass protection issues obviously were an issue, and it changed how I called it. It changed how we did things. But luckily we were able to lean on some things that that made us an effective offense at times, and so. Really proud of those guys up front. Justin is going to he's, being able to get him back for his senior year is awesome. Pritchett's really practicing well right now. I think you're going to see him take that next step to what we thought he could be when we brought him here. Henry, Rocco, Turner's out there just, doing what he can do, and so. Really appreciate those guys, and I do think that we showed improvement there. With that said, it's not good enough. I mean, we got to be better, and I got to be better. The scheme's got to be better. The results got to be better in order for us to get to where we want to be around here. That's why I say when I came here to do a job, in my mind, I don't think that job's done yet.
Without Emmett, what's your confidence in the run game for this bowl game?
It's about those guys up front. I was like, what are we going to do now? And Emmett came in, and I was like, look, whatever you say to me, it ain't going to change how I feel about you whatsoever. And so by him not playing and going to the NFL, I just gave him a big hug, and thanked him for everything that he did. Love that kid. With that said, what's next and who's next? What's next and who's next? Ike looks good. Makai looks good. Quentin's out there practicing hard. Kenneth is out there practicing hard, and just excited to see what they can do.
Wherever Emmett lands, we all know what he can do as a player, but what is his next stop getting in him as a person?
What is
What is his next team getting in him as a person?
just the hardest working kid on the team. I mean, he's just the kid just really loved practicing every single day. Every single day this entire last year was Emmett Johnson just coming to work and practicing and playing his tail off. And the skill set is exactly what I thought it was when I saw him. I mean, he got better as a receiver. He got better in pass blocking. He got better in making people miss. He got better in explosive runs. I wish he would have scored a few more touchdowns. Everybody complains about my red zone. Man, you get down there with the ball, get it in the end zone. He's a fantastic player. All-American running back at Nebraska. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Questions for Isaiah?
Isaiah, how big is this opportunity for you in the bowl game?
First off, I'll say how you guys doing. This opportunity means a lot to me. Watching Emmett all year was pretty, like, it helped me. Seeing him break tackles, finish runs, press vertical seams. It was definitely what I needed to see for this opportunity now.
How did he help you in like the meeting room, film room, things like that?
He helped me a lot. I was new to running back coming in this fall, so kind of he was teaching me the ropes, teaching me like the details of everything. So he's been a good mentor to follow behind.
From receiver to running back to receiver a little bit. When Bonner got hurt, back to running back. What was that experience like over the last 9 months?
It was definitely humbling. Taking a step back, hey, I need to learn all of this. You know what I mean? Coming from high school, you're thinking you know everything, and then put in a situation where you have to learn again and watch the people in front of you. So I think it was kind of a humbling experience, and I think it helped me in the long run for what I want to do in the future.
You understand the offense better now that you understand it from two very different positions.
Yes, absolutely.
These first few full practices been like for you, knowing that Emmett just is not in there and the reps are, there for you.
It you take details before, but makes you more intentional. You know what I mean? So I think it helps me. Like, hey, now I know it's my time, not time to play. Seeing Emmett do it helps me also a lot. So I feel like that's helped.
The moving around that you did during the season, how did that impact like the playing shape, the playing weight that you wanted to be at? It's probably ideal to be different as a running back versus a wide receiver. And what did you play at most of the year?
It was definitely I had to adjust to my weight, especially in the fall. Kind of the first month, I'm like, dang, I got to get a little heavier because I'm going through the trenches, all these big D tackles, D linemen. But I'm about like 208, 209, like playing the whole year. So I've learned to balance it.
Envision your future now entirely at the running back spot?
Yes, I do.
What's the competition level like right now with the running back room as a whole?
It's great competition, you know what I mean? And it's brotherhood competition. It's like what you come to college for. Hey, I'm get to compete, get the best. I feel like Makai's the best, Quentin Ives, all the young backs, Connor Booth. I mean, we're all competing for this one spot. I feel like that helps us strive throughout each and every day.
What's your read on not just your room, but the entire team and sort of the focus and using these practices as a lead-in to even next year too?
I feel like it's helped us a lot, you know what I mean? More of a brotherhood, see who's with you, see what guys left and see what guys didn't leave, but just to see each other fight each and every day to get better and to win versus Utah and end the season on a good note.
You guys kind of have an underdog feel heading into this bowl game. Have guys embraced that? I mean, there's a lot of people obviously picking Utah to win this game over you guys right now.
Yeah, we seem to embrace, like, hey, we need to get better, you know what I mean? Like, the loss of Iowa hurt pretty bad, so we use that as kind of as motivation. Hey, on the stuff we need to get better on the weaknesses we had. So we've been, like, the D-line has been doing really good so far. Like, it's been, like, these practices have been great for us as a team.
What would you say your strengths are as a runner, and where do you want to continue to get better?
I want to say in open space, I think I'm pretty special in open space. And then what I can work on, I feel like all aspects of my game, pass blocking, running more physical behind my pads. So.
Blocking like at the collegiate level. Had you ever done it before you got here?
No, I've not done it before. So kind of first doing, I'm like, whoa. I didn't know running back entailed of this, but learning it, knowing that you just got to be physical, like it is what it is. So just learning.
Was the physicality the hardest part to learn, or is it like knowing where the blitzes are coming from?
Knowing where the blitzes are coming from, I think physicality is more mental. Saying, hey, I'm going to put my face on this person, and that is what it is. So it's more the mental part of, hey, this blitz is coming from here, and like knowing the box more.
What's the impact for you of being able to have your dad around on the staff this year as you adjust to college?
That's been great. I mean, that's a blessing from God. So that's not something everybody else gets to have, but I definitely use that to my advantage as much as I can. And I feel like that's helping me now to be in a situation.
All good. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, when it was officially announced, it was kind of a surreal moment. Coming from that university, great program to another amazing historic program was a really cool change for me. But now that that's kind of coming back full circle, got a lot of family coming there. The team as a whole, I mean, we're ready to rock. I think it's really exciting. We're gonna bring that Big Ten physicality down there, down to Vegas. It'll be really fun. From a personal perspective, it's been crazy. Just texting all my guys. I mean, they're starting Sam linebacker Leonard Barton, number 8. He's my high school teammate. Been playing with him since we were in 7th grade together. Their starting center right now is my locker mate while I was there. I text him every few weeks. Him and my girlfriend. My girlfriend's in gymnastics at University of Utah, so they still talk to each other all the time. Surreal, honestly.
Have you been working at right guard with Rocco out, or what positions have you been working at?
Yeah, right guard has been the slot that I've been put into recently. We've worked at that with Coach Raiola over the past couple of years, and then back to tackle, back and forth. But for this bowl prep, yeah, it's been me and Turner at the right side.
Tyler, what's been the initial response and how it's been with Jeep so far?
We love Jeep. Jeep's an amazing coach. He has great energy, brings some great swagger to the room. We're all going to miss Coach Raiola. He did an amazing thing for us. I mean, me personally, he brought me out of a place that I didn't know I was going to be put into, and did a lot in my own life that I could be more grateful for. And I really hope that he finds that next job wherever it may be. But bringing Jeep in has been a great addition to the unit. Also bringing in Coach Lonnie as well. We've been 2 amazing hires that have really influenced a lot of good energy into the room. Different coaching style, different coaching techniques, so it's been fun to learn it. Meeting room's a bit different, practice a bit different, but it's been fun.
What are the differences, just off the first blush, of the coaching techniques, like what Coach Donnie taught you guys and what Jeep and Lonnie are doing?
Yeah, Coach Raiola, he believed in a really historical technique with the Joe Moore Award, what Joe Moore used to teach. And, you know, it was a lot more hands inside, a lot more fast-paced, eyes down kind of thing. With Coach Jeep and Coach Lonnie, it's been a lot more, you know, let's take it as a whole, take it as a big picture, kind of more universal blocking styles, if that makes sense, on different schemes, different plays, less specific, if that makes sense.
How's that going? Are you guys going to deploy that in the bowl game, or is it going to maybe for next year?
We're going to blend it. It's pretty hard to change it all in 2 weeks, especially with the older guys as well. A couple terminology things we're going to keep, couple technique things we're going to keep, but for the main part, we're just going to blend it all together. Some of Jeep stuff, some of Coach Raiola stuff, and then once we get into this new offseason, it'll be fully Coach Wade and Coach Lonnie.
What was his opening message like to you? I mean, how does a new coach come in and kind of take over in the middle of the season, and what did he say to you guys?
Yeah, you know, Coach Wade got here, and it's in a pretty hot spot where he came into, pretty like a boiling pot per se. And he came in saying he's going to be the coach at the University of Nebraska. And the University of Nebraska is an O-line driven school. It always has been historically. And he's so excited for the opportunity. So his excitement off the rip was just the biggest thing for us. He wanted to show us that he loves us. And at the same time, we're going to work really hard. Not taking any days off, no steps back, anything like that. But just coming in here, we're O-line at the University of Nebraska. He's the O-line coach at the University of Nebraska. He took that job from Georgia Tech because this is an O-line school, and he wants to leave his legacy here.
Tyler, as far as guard and tackle goes, what do you prefer? Where do you see yourself after this game?
I've played both, obviously. It's been put on tapes and put on the practice. I love both. They're both fun. Guard's a little bit faster, a little bit more heavy hitting. Tackle's a bit more loose, a little bit more in air. So it's fun to work both of them. Whatever Coach Wade, Coach Rule, Coach Lonnie, whatever they see me best at, we're going to work with. Luckily, there is that changeability where I can go to guard, I can go to tackle, whatever is best for the team. So for me personally, I'll play whatever they'd ask me to, but tackle's a little bit faster, guard's a little more physical. Kind of love the physicality, I like to hit people.
When you're talking about personalities between Donnie and Jeep, can you just talk about the difference there, if there is one? Just what are they, how do they differ in personality-wise?
For sure. Like I said earlier, Jeep's brought in an amazing energy to the room. A little bit more fast-paced, a little quicker tempo, if that makes sense. Donnie we really wanted to emphasize certain technique aspects when Coach Raiola was here. So working from the more specific part to just kind of like moving faster has been the biggest technique and change difference. In terms of coaching style, Coach Raiola, more of an overviewing coach, would look at the whole play, look at different people. Coach Jeep would kind of break it down person by person a little bit quicker than Coach Raiola would. just because with more universal style of blocking, all the blocks are pretty similar. Pass pro, pretty similar as well.
You've been in college football a while. Have you seen guys become more used to the comings and goings of this month? Just
100%. It's the world that we live in nowadays. You bring in NIL, you bring in revenue sharing, which is great for young men to get this aspect of, they're working for something now. But at the same time, you're going to have guys that are going to go chase a program and they're going to go play at the University of Nebraska as an O-line, or you're going to go chase monetary value for some reason that's announced to everybody else. Whatever it may be, you see this world of football changing more and more every single week. We see new rules coming out. We saw that whole professional sports bidding and betting thing that went on for a couple of weeks there. They want to push all of it, and as athletes, you can either commit to a program or you commit to a dollar amount, and that's really what it's turning into more and more.
You played for Whittingham at Utah, obviously. How big of a deal is his retirement, and how hard do you expect him to play for him? What did he mean to that program all the years he was there?
Yeah, I want to congratulate Coach Witt on an amazing career there. Obviously, I played for him. I grew up watching him and his teams. My high school teammates were playing for him. We all watched it. It was the Holy War back home, so it was BYU, Utah every year. And Coach Witt's done an amazing job accelerating that program, getting them to some amazing places, Rose Bowl back-to-back, getting to the Big 12 and playing at an incredibly high level there, and now playing in the Vegas Bowl. I expect nothing less than their whole team to be rallying behind him. When a coach steps away, the players are going to amp up for him. They want him to go out on a high note, so they're going to come and we're going to come too, and just bring that physicality best as possible.
As somebody who's been in the transfer portal before, and the process has changed a little bit since you went through it, right? But what is that process like as somebody who's going through it?
It's a brutal world. Honestly, you see more and more guys going into it every year. Promises are being kept and broken. In the world of football nowadays, a guy can make a decision like that. You'll have teammates you kind of expect them to transfer, or you kind of expect them to stay here, whatever it may be, and some guys just do it in a lick of a second. It's a world that evolves every day. I mean, there's schools are reaching out to people, whether it be in the time frame that they're supposed to or otherwise, and there's a lot of communication that's going on behind the scenes. So being college football nowadays, it's helpful to have like agents and stuff like that can help you out with all this kind of stuff, because for an 18, 19-year-old young man that's coming into college football, it's a crazy world to step into, especially coming out of high school.
Tyler, what's the level of satisfaction from the offensive line with all the awards that Emmett Johnson received in the postseason?
That's a great question. Emmett Johnson's our guy. He would show us so much love every day at practice, every game. You'd see him when he scores a touchdown in the game, he'd sprint over to the O-line bench, start dapping us all up. He was our guy. I'm so excited for his next step in his career. The O-line just absolutely ecstatic to see all the awards he's getting, all the recognition he's getting, and he's shown nothing but love back towards us. He texts us every time he gets something like, wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. He's shown immense amount of love before anything even happened, before the season even started. And we saw the effort he put in. We saw he connected to his burn. We bring in Ben Newman, who talks about connecting to your burn. And Emmett did a great job of that this year. And just seeing him excel has been so awesome to watch. I've been really close with him and his friends over the past 3 years, and can't wait to see where he gets drafted.
What are you seeing out of those young backs? I assume they're pretty juiced up for their chance now.
Yeah, it's behind Emmett, it's a personnel strength kind of thing. You have some guys that are really good runners, some guys that are really good pass catchers, some guys that are good in pass pro, some guys that are really good in hitting the ball straight down the hill, whatever it may be. So you got guys running full speed out there at practice. It's fun. Makai Nelson, Mosey, Connor Booth, Quentin Ives, they're all just flying out there. It's fun to watch them all play because they're all trying to earn something. And that's when football's fun again. When you're not put into a systematic order and you're allowed to go out there and play, it's fun. So Emmett being able to go to that next level has been a great addition for this team, and it's really cool to see that success come out of him. But these young backs are doing their thing.
He was a big part of the program. What's your thoughts about Dylan going to the portal?
Yeah, it was big yesterday. It was big news. The team, some guys took it really hard. I mean, he was really close with the O-line. He was really close with the offensive unit. Him and his family, they're making the best decisions for themselves. We saw Dayton decommit a while back, and now we see Dylan going in the portal. So whatever they want to do, I know that God will be on their side, and I know that the best decision for them is going to be what they make. They're not going to make a quick response decision. They're going to put a lot of thought into it. They're a thoughtful family. Wish the best for them, but as a team, we got to move on, move forward, attack every day, and TJ Latif's going to do a great job filling that role.
How do you guys, have you guys kind of responded and rallied around TJ? I mean, from a month ago, but especially now, I mean, he's kind of QB1.
Yeah. A month ago when Dylan got hurt, TJ kind of had to step in that role really quickly. And it was no lights to all the lights, right? We saw a little bit of success in the early season, kind of stepped back into that shadow for a bit, and then he was excelled on the scene. And seeing him embrace that role, love it, live it every day, he brings that QB1 energy to the weight room, to the practice field, to the locker room. All the guys love him. It's really good. He's a great guy. His personality is amazing. There's a great culture aspect to the team. He can sling the ball. He can run it. It's really helpful for Dana and his staff to be able to have that versatility at a quarterback where you have that dual threat style. It's fun for the O-line too because it relieves a little bit of stress off our back. You have a pocket passer and those DNs are going to tee off every time. You have a scramble where those DNs have to keep their eyes up. So it's helpful for the whole team. But in terms of TJ being a leader, he's going to do a great job. I'm excited to see how he flourishes in this moment.
Hey, Tyler, what's the having a? I know you've had other coaches work with the offensive line in addition to Donnie in your time here, but with Jeep and Lonnie together, what's that? And it's only been a few days, but what's that dynamic like? What do you envision that dynamic being like in moving ahead?
Yeah, Coach Jeep's he's our head guy for sure, but Coach Lonnie has amazing experience. Coach Aaron Cooling's still here, Riley Moses is still here, so we've got 4 people that are helping us every single day. It's really helpful as well when you got a group of 20 guys and you can split it up and you get more one-on-one time with your coach. It's a lot more beneficial than having that 1, maybe 2 coaches on a staff. So having all that experience, I mean, you got ACC, SEC, Big Ten, everything, D1, D3, whatever it may be. You have so much experience coming into this room to where whatever questions asked by the O-line unit, it's going to be answered, and it's going to be answered the best way possible because we have so much experience at coaching it. You see Coach Lonnie and Coach Cools, they break up and they take the guards and centers most days. You'll see Coach Wade and Coach Moses take the tackles, they split it up. So it's really effective. I think it's helping the guys out a lot, more one-on-one, a lot deeper coaching. Also, you're sitting in the meeting room and sometimes Coach Wade can only see so much, but Coach Lonnie will say something or Coach Cools will say something. You know, the more flavors you add to the pot, the better it's going to taste, kind of thing.
Anything else for Tyler? I know faith is big to you. There were many times after the game when you guys were doing the prayer after and you were leading it. Can you just talk about what that meant to be able to lead men after a battle, to be able to share that moment?
Yeah, God is good. God is really good. It was last January where I realized I needed God in my life, so it's been a pretty accelerated path for me. I grew up in a state where religion was a really big thing, and it was kept out of it growing up, came here, realized I really needed it, and now being able to step in that leadership position in terms of spiritual faith, myself, Luke Lindemeyer, Coach Chambers, Coach Ron Brown, we've all done an amazing job trying to help this team come closer to God through the process. It's really cool to see the lives you can change. And the people that, when you see Jesus working through an individual, it's really special. So you see that. We've had people reach out to me and Luke about that. That prayer post-game earlier in the season was a really special moment for me. But not just that, but every game we're leading prayers before the locker room, before the game, before practice. We lead a prayer before every practice too. And it's really cool to see the guys on this team come closer to God and take their next step spiritually, because it's only going to allow their brain and their mental health to better, and at the same time allow their play to be better.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you, guys.
What have these practices been like for you, knowing that there's an opportunity out there?
I'll definitely say they've been great. Losing someone like Emmett, that's definitely something hard. Like that's my brother. You feel me? I over these last 2 years, I started to look at him like he was an older brother to me. So it's like, even though he's gone, I feel as though it's a great opportunity not only for myself but for the other backs in the room. Like it opens up a big hole. Like I know it's big shoes to fill, but it's like, we work day in and day out for moments like these. So it's like we just gotta, take over the moment.
What have you learned over the past couple years?
Man, I could go on and on what I learned from Emmett, but I feel as though like definitely the most important things that I learned from Emmett is, you know, how to be a pro off the field. Like, you know, everyone thinks just being a football player, it's what you do on the field, but it's also what you do off the field. You know, coming to meetings 10 minutes early instead of being the last person in there, you know, showing up to breakfast, being the first person in breakfast, being the first person in the weight room, you know, stuff like that. So I definitely feel as though like just being around Emmett for the last 2 years, like he definitely like taught me how to be more of a professional.
What's it meant to have Coach Barthel developing you and getting you ready for this role?
Oh man, that's great. You know, that's my guy. Like me and Coach EJ, we go way back. You know, 5 years. It's 5 years in the making right now. So it's definitely great having him develop me. You know, like after all the conversations that we had when I was 15 years old and he was recruiting me out of high school. You know, so like just having that guy that I have such a special bond with. You know, it's like it feels like thunder and lightning. Like you feel me? Like we're gonna be a great duo together.
How hungry are you for this opportunity, along with Isaiah, just to be the featured backs in the game this year?
Oh, I definitely know we're very hungry. You know, like it's hard, especially like a guy like Isaiah. You know, he just came from high school. You know, so it's hard having to sit down and actually develop behind people. You know, but like when you got someone like Emmett Johnson, you know, it's real easy to learn a lot from him. You know, but I definitely would say that we're real hungry and we're definitely like looking forward to this opportunity on New Year's Eve.
What do you think your strengths are as a runner, and where are you trying to improve?
I feel as though my strengths as a runner, I feel as though it's definitely my vision, you know, my breakaway speed, my agility, you know, getting from 0 to 100 as fast as I could. But I believe like things that I need to work on, you know, there's always things that you need to work on. But for me, I feel as though it's like always keeping my pad level down, always making sure I get extra catches in just to make sure that I could catch the ball when my number is called, you know, stuff like that. And also like trying to get bigger while we're still in the season so I could run behind my pads and, you know, get those few extra yards.
You're usually a receiver on third down, but like pass blocking, like being every down guy, you gotta
Yes,
do
sir.
that. How's that journey coming?
That's definitely going great. You know, having someone like Coach EJ, you know, he takes the time. Like even if it takes a whole period, a whole 15-minute period, like if it's not how he needs it to be or it's not how he wants it to be, he's gonna correct it. So you know, over the past couple of months, you know that's what he's been harping on is our pass protection. Because if you can't pass protect, you can't play.
What's the competition level like overall in that running back room right now?
Oh, it's just a bunch of dogs in there, you know. Everyone pushing everyone. You know, it's like I can't have a bad day. Isaiah can't have a bad day. Quentin can't have a bad day because we all have each other behind us, pushing each other. You know, so it's like I feel as though like the way that we practice, the standard that we have in practice is like we're full go. Like once we're going, we're going. So it's no off days for us. Like so, I feel as though like all of us, you know, we just help push each other.
I know you'd be excited for a bowl game no matter what, but is there an added element that Utah, their 10-win team, their coach's last game, just a challenge ahead of you guys?
I mean, every game that you step into is a challenge. You know, it's college football at the end of the day. But I feel as though like playing a team like Utah, they feel as though they should be in the playoffs. So I feel as though we're gonna get their best game. So I feel as though I don't really. I look at it as a challenge, but I feel as though it's something that we're definitely gonna overcome.
You were teammates with Dylan for a couple of years. I mean, he announces more or less that he's going to the portal. What was the reaction? What's your thoughts on that news?
To be honest, it's really just next guy up. You know, that's my brother. I learned to have a real great bond with him and his family. But at the end of the day, like it's a business, so certain things like that is gonna happen. So I just look at it as a bigger opportunity for TJ to show what he could do.
What do you like about TJ?
I like everything. That boy dynamic, you know, he could run the ball really well and he could throw the ball. So I feel as though like he just creates more opportunities for our offense. You know, he extends plays that we may have not been able to get to this season.
All right.
Thank you.
What's your year been like? What's this season been like for you?
I would say it's been a lot of ups and downs, but for the most part, I feel like I've made tremendous improvement on and off the field, whether it's film study, just extra work, and just putting my all into it and just taking it day by day. So I feel like it's been going good.
When
So.
you got a chance to become sort of the full-time start, I think that was after the Michigan game, that's Michigan State. How much better do you feel like you got over the course of the season just getting the reps in the Big Ten?
I feel like I really like improved because like I would talk to like Rule and stuff like that, like like just me just being in the game just helps me just get accommodated to like just playing. Like if you do something for a long period of time, like you're going to get better at it regardless. So I feel like just me getting those reps really helped me. So
your early impression of Coach Wade and Coach Lonnie.
I feel like they've been tremendous additions to the room. They bring great energy every day, push us to our limits, and just even though they just got in, it's like we've known them for months. So it's like I just feel like they've been a great addition to that room. So I'm excited to see where he takes us.
Tyler said Coach Wade has a lot of energy that pop out right away.
Yeah, definitely. The first day it was like, dang, who is this guy? But it was, he brings all the juice, all the energy. He wants the best for us, and not just as players, but as people. So that's a great thing I like about him. So.
Is he pretty familiar with you from the SEC?
Yeah, he was. He told me like first day it was like, yeah, preach, like, and Lonnie actually recruited me from South Carolina. They gave me my first offer my sophomore year of high school. So yeah, I'm already got some familiarity with him. So yeah, I feel like so.
What do you feel like? What do the coaches tell you is keeping you from starting in the first 4 games?
I feel like it was just like the mental piece. Like, I obviously started off with a couple false starts during fall camp and kind of worried about it going into the season. Just feel like they couldn't trust me all the way. So I essentially had to just earn that trust, and not only from him, but the offensive line room. And I love like where the room is headed and the direction that we're taking. So.
As you got into this break before the bowl, what have been your thoughts about, or how much time have you spent thinking about your future, and what is your excitement level for next season?
I'm very excited for this game, especially because the next game is the most important, and I feel like that's just my mindset. I don't really think too far into the future, just like what's next, and just think about like what's at hand and just how do we attack just that process. So that's my mindset.
How do you feel like your relationship grew with Rule even over the course of the season?
I feel like as the season went on and, I got the necessary reps that I needed and just improved each game, not even each game, just each day, every practice. I attacked every practice like it was my last almost because, football is you're not going to be playing football forever. So I kind of just realized that through the season and just gave it my all and just put my heart into it. So.
Coming from Alabama, you played in some very high-level football games there, crazy environments around the SEC. How do you compare Memorial Stadium to that?
I love it. I mean, it's obviously Nebraska. The fans are always hyped. They're always going to show up, be there. Coming from Alabama, it's obviously some games I've played in where the crowd is crazy, like Tennessee, LSU, but I just feel like no matter who we play here, like the fans are always going to show up and just support us in every possible way they can. So appreciative for that.
You gonna carve out some time to watch your former teammates this weekend?
Oh yeah. So, actually, when is that game? Friday. Okay. Yeah, I talked to a couple of the players, like Proctor a little bit, Justin Jefferson. Talked to him a little bit, to see where they had sat and stuff like that. But like even though I'm at a different environment, I still just like to be, like the connections and relationships you build, like those last a lifetime. So it's like just because you go to a different place don't mean you just X them out. But I feel like, yeah, they got a chance to win it all, so I wish the best for them.
Little left tackle pass midway through the season. Have you talked to Dane about getting you one of those?
Yeah, I talked to him. It's funny that you say that. I talked to him this week. I was like, hey, like I'm gonna need one. I'm gonna need at least one. So I talked to him. He was like, hey, keep practicing how you've been practicing. Like, might have to come up with something. So I'm pretty excited about that.
How have you guys kind of rallied around, even in the last couple of days? TJ, I think he's kind of QB1 now, going forward this period. Like, how have you guys rallied around him in the last month, but also in the last couple of days?
I feel like TJ has definitely took tremendous leaps this year. Coming in as a freshman and having the whole weight of Nebraska on your shoulders. I mean, that's a pretty serious, topic. But I feel like he's took every possible step. Is film study, just getting in with the O-line and just making sure we're all on, one accord. I mean, I feel like he's done a great job just doing that and just taking on this role now that DR is gone, and happy for him.
Thanks, Elijah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
what's been the vibe just with bowl practices, some of the changes that have happened? How have you guys kind of come back the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean, everybody who's around the building, they seem super excited. A lot of the young guys are getting to practice, so it's good to see them getting after it. And, I think everybody's super excited for what's to come.
Hey, Dane, you transferred last year. Obviously, your roommate Dylan decided to do that as well. What was kind of your reaction to that decision and the team's reaction overall?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody knows, like, today's day and age, everybody has to do what they think is what's best for themselves. So, what Dylan had to do was him and his family believe was best for himself. So, everybody here is, no hard feelings. Everybody knows the business today's age of college football. So everybody's super excited for him to go out there and do what's best for him. And, this team will continue to move forward with what they have to do in the future.
You guys rally around TJ even in the last couple of days. He's kind of QB1 now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the rally around TJ started when Dylan got hurt. It doesn't really, nothing really changed. Everybody still knew TJ was going to be the quarterback for the bowl game, so nothing really changed in that aspect. So everybody's still been rallying around TJ, no matter what the circumstances is now. Yeah.
The portal opening next month, can you kind of just describe the experience, having been through it yourself, what it's like getting blown up, the options that you have as you're kind of weighing things out?
Yeah, I mean, the portal, it's a dangerous game. I mean, you can go into a better situation. You can go into a situation where you think it's going to be better, but the grass isn't always greener. It's some of those type of things. I mean, I think Coach Rule does a really great job of telling his guys of his team of what they should do. He's going to keep it real with you because, he's one of the best head coaches in the game. He's going to be honest with you no matter the feelings involved in the situation.
For guys beyond just the money, are there other things that you would say, look at this when you're evaluating school?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at, sometimes schools can be in it for themselves. So if you get a head coach like Matt Rule, I mean, he's not in it for himself. He's in it to help his team. So his players will thrive no matter if you come here, if you leave from him. If you have that relationship with Coach Rule, I mean, he'll always be there for you.
How would you individually assess your season?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I had a really good season. Just listening to Coach Rule throughout the season, he helped me understand a lot more things than catching football. So that was really the main thing that I learned this season is to become a better player. It's not just all about catching the ball. So Coach Rule helped me do that, and he did a really great job of staying on me throughout the whole season about doing things without the ball in my hands.
You got really close with Dylan really fast. Just on a personal level, are you gonna miss seeing him every day?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna see Dylan every day regardless. So that's probably a question for Jacory. But Dylan was a good friend of mine. He actually called me last night, just wanted to get on the game. So I mean, it's deeper than ball with the guys that you meet on this team.
What do you know about Utah and the challenge you guys face in this bowl game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good team. They'll be pissed off that they have to play us. So, I mean, they're pissed off because they have to play us, not as in who we are, but they're pissed off because they didn't make the college football playoffs. So, we're going to have to play a team that has a chip on their shoulder, and, we have a chip on our shoulder because, we're trying to leave this place. Personally, I'm trying to leave this place better than what I found it. So, just trying to get to the team to excel for next season, start the season off next year on the right foot, the right note, win a bowl game, start the season off on the right foot for the next season. Those guys in the receiver room behind me, so just trying to leave this place as good as I found it.
On that note, not overlooking the bowl game, but for you, Senior Bowl and then preparing for the draft, what expectations do you have for yourself?
Yeah, just grinding every day, just see what happens. Just super excited for this next chapter of my life. With, like I said, just having that great relationship with Coach Rule, I know he'll be there for me no matter what, and whatever happens, I'm going to be super grateful for whatever happens, and just super excited for this next chapter.
Dane, what's this offense going to look like without Emmett?
Oh gosh, I mean, Emmett was a big part of this offense, and he's a ball player, but this will allow for other guys in that running back room to step up. Super excited for everybody in that running back room to be able to go out there and take part of what Emmett did. They saw how Emmett did it. They saw how Emmett worked every day. So I mean, I feel like there won't be a drop off because they saw how hard Emmett worked, and every day that Emmett came into work. I mean, he came into work. So when it's time for the younger running backs that saw him prepare all season, I mean, they see how it's supposed to be done.
With the transfer portal, guys will leave, but guys will also be coming in. So what is your recruiting pitch to guys who are contemplating coming to Nebraska?
Yeah, I mean, if you want a place to help you develop to become a better football player and a better human being all around, then I mean, there's no better choice than to come to Nebraska.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you.